Nigerians, make we not allow President Tinubu to see this video for the sake of peace. This Reverend Father don't expose Tinubu. He don't expose everything for public. The whole truth don't finally come out. The whole truth don't finally come out about the update wey dey trend about President Tinubu and this our bishop. Make we hear wetin this man of God, this Reverend Father, wetin dey expose for inside this particular video. You know reaction for so many questions wey dey ask am for inside this particular video about the happenings in this country. See, as a Nigeria, make we not make mistake 2027. Make we not make mistake if Tinubu win again, una go suffer tire.
You've seen the reactions that have trailed this interview. When you saw the statements released by the spokespersons attached to the presidency, how did you respond? Did you believe that one of your colleagues, one of the bishops should have gone ahead to open up on issues addressed during the presidential meeting? Because that appears to be the major concern here, as well as what has been described as the conduct of the bishops during the meeting. I'm not sure what conduct means, but tell us what your appreciation is.
Well, thank you very much for having me. I do think that sycophancy is unfortunately one of the biggest banes of Nigerian political structure. If people who work for the presidency or work for government or work for even other institutions peddle in lies, in pretense, in fiddling while Rome burns, in not giving good advice, it doesn't turn out good. And to act like an attack dog for great people who are patriotic for our country is something that is not only unfortunate, it is a disgrace. So when I hear someone who is paid a salary for making noise like Daniel Bwala or Mr. Ajayi, what I see is, gentlemen, play it down. Just be a little bit more civil. We live in a country and in a world that is large and complicated. And it's not about defense, it's about listening. People in positions of power must listen. And listening makes you stronger. That's what I take. So when the bishops, who have a moral responsibility, a moral obligation to advise, and people should even pay them for advising them. They're not in competition for political power. They just want to see that the voice of the voiceless is heard by those who have the responsibility and political position to give, a response. So the President Tinubu, of course, will try to, like he did, try to say my government is doing well, and we don't say he's not doing well. He is doing his best. But sometimes you do your best and it's still not enough. And the enormity of the challenges of a modern society is so much for one person to solve. But government cannot say, because I'm doing well, I've done it, or don't tell me anything. Well, we have also a president whom, I had visited not long ago, and we listened to him. He seems to be trying his best. The age is not on his side, not only him, but those who are around him. We have a lot of promises. If we come into power, life will be better for you. We shall solve security. The economy will be addressed. And we're not seeing it. And electricity we shall solve. Where is it? You shall have water, and you shall have a better life, and you shall earn, and employment will be better. We're not seeing it. And the depression in society is escalating. This insecurity in the nation is escalating. And those who have accepted to serve our people, and that's exactly the work of the political leadership, they have accepted to serve our people. It's an enormous job they are doing for everybody. So we should encourage them. And encouragement is not only you are doing well, but you can do it this way. You can do it better. You can engage. And I think that the bishops who have continued to engage this country, Nigeria became independent in 1960. The first letter of the Bishops' Conference of Nigeria in 1960, and then we had much more European bishops in the country. Many people were not born then, 1960 is a long time now, was the church in an independent Nigeria. And the key things they said was the family must be protected. Human dignity must always be respected. The rights of people, human rights, social rights, economic rights, is the work of government to promote. Solidarity is the way to the future. And taking care of creation. These were things said 1960. Consistency has continued to show that standing out for the people, sacrificing your life as leadership, religious leaders, and trying to advise those in politics, it makes them bridge builders. So when the simple people cannot reach government, it is the work of the church to do this. It's not about a justification whether they should even preach. They have the prophetic mandate to preach. It's much more a question of citizens who are also religious leaders being engaged in the work of making their nation a better place. I want to thank our bishops for their courage. It's always been consistent, whether it was in the past presidencies, much more during the military era, when Cardinal Okoje was president of the Christian Association of Nigeria, on the Islamization policy, on the fact of third-term tenure of Obasanjo. Cardinal Onayekon engaged him, and on Jonathan's governance, and when, for example, corruption was belittled, there's no corruption, he said, no, don't take it like that. So we have that responsibility to speak out, to advise, to encourage, to praise also, to build up, but all out of goodwill. And if government will listen, it turns out to be better for them. Of course, there are governments that don't want to listen, but it always ends in perdition. Not to listen is to fall, because pride goes before a fall. Yeah. I don't want to go into engagement with these persons who are paid salaries to probably, I will use the word, I better not use it, but rabble-rousing, or prebendalism, trying to pretend as if the reality of their own villages where they come from is that insecurity has taken over every place. And who is going to speak it? If the simple people are insecure and they have no line to the bishop, to the government, and the bishops have, because they are leaders in their own capacity, and not leaders of 10 years, but they are leaders for all generations. The Catholic Church has been there for 2,000 years plus. And it's moving. And it's not just a local or national. The Catholic Church is an intercontinental, intranational, for all times. And it is the work of the church, of the pope, of the cardinals, of the bishops, of the priests to retain this mandate, and which goes to serve the people. It is for the life of the people. I came that you may have life and have it abundantly. That's the work of the church. So when you criticize, even if you use the word criticism, when you constructively criticize a government, they say, don't tell me anything. You don't stop talking. You keep on talking. And you keep on engaging. And that's what is called courage. Yeah. And we think that we need it exactly now in Nigeria, because the place is not settled. It's not just about Nigeria alone. The globe is also unsettled. But those in our own context should behave better, especially those in positions of responsibility and political power.
Yeah, I think the president was expecting a pat on the back for, maybe a job well done, but other than the criticism. And also, let me bring this to you through the presidency, to the senior special assistant on media and publicity, Temitope Ajayi, accused Cardinal John Onayekon of abusing clerical privilege by revealing the details of a meeting they tagged private. But a meeting you tagged private, you've published some snippets and pockets of commentaries from the president. Is this still private, or don't Nigerians, are allowed to know the details and contents of the context of that meeting? Bishop Onayekon was tagged from the special senior advisor, assistant media and publicity, by the way, from Temitope Ajayi, clerical privilege abuse.
Well, if I would just give a direct answer, there's something we call ignorance. And that ignorance is not a seclusive term. The gentleman who is an advisor to the president on publicity airs on many levels. First of all, a meeting between the bishops and the president was aired by television. NTA was there, other television houses were there. The discussions held is not like a confessional. And going to speak about the issues of the nation, we are there in public. Snippets of them have been released outside there. What stops? I might as well go to preach tomorrow in a church, and somebody with the same Temitope will say, it is what we discussed with Tinubu that you are preaching in the church. What is the secret? Insecurity, is it a secret? The educational imbalance, is it a secret? The fact that the economy is very low, is it a secret? I continue to wonder how people, he earns a salary and he has to be doing this. So I just think that, but that's very unfortunate, because the bishops, in the presence of the president, told him that people around you are part of the problem. And we see it now like in this type of outburst. I need not say more about it.
Who are these people around the president?
Anybody who sits around the corridors of power has two advantages. One, you have access to where decisions are taken. Two, I mean, the names are clear and those who work there know themselves. But two, you either give an advice right or left. It's either you are honest or dishonest. It's either you are personal or for the common good. So these persons have that opportunity, that ability to advise rightly or advise wrongly. And I'll tell you something. There was a king called Philip II. He was the king of Macedon. Philip II was the father of Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great is a great king in modern Greece, and he conquered virtually the whole world, conquered the Egyptian Empire, conquered the Roman Empire, and so on. But what did Philip do? He hired a servant who every morning and every night will do a gong to say, Philip, remember, you are mortal. Remember, you will die. Philip, remember, you are mortal. Remember, you will die. And then that was his message. People in power need those who must remind them of their limitations. Otherwise, the praise singing will carry you away. And that's where the challenge lies. And the bishop said it publicly.
Okay. What is the mood of the Catholic bishops at this point in time? They've seen the reactions like every other Nigerian has seen. What is the conversation? What are their concerns following the feedback? What are the Catholic bishops saying? How are they reacting to this presidential conversation?
I must laugh because the matter of truth is so objective. Truth is out there. You don't need to have an emotion about truth. You have preached the good news. Let it go and give it soil. And there's something Cardinal Onaya concerned in his message. When the word of God goes out, it does not come back without yielding fruit. Religious leaders are blessed and are called to teach the truth, to teach love, to proclaim justice, to build bridges, to stand out for the poor, to advise and encourage everybody, rich and poor. And that's what they are doing. There's no other meeting of the Bishops' Conference in recent times. Let us go and discuss what personal assistants have said. They are too busy with pastoral, social activities, engagements, academic work, managing their dioceses, as to come and have a small meeting about let me say, a small mind, I put it in quotes, has tried to do. I mean, and I will really think that those who work not just around our president, but around any other institution, let people cultivate an attitude of decency, an attitude of civility, and an attitude of respect, even when they address their elders, whether they are religious or politicians. Let them not become abusers. There is something about respect. It's a fundamental virtue. Why should people just shout? And I really even call Mr. Onayeko.
Did the Catholic bishops feel disrespected by the remarks made by these spokespersons? Were you disrespected?
No, I don't think so. Jesus Christ is the leader, and they spat on him. They put a thorn on his head. They put him on the cross. They killed him. Persecution is what you get when you preach the good news. And you don't stop because you are being persecuted. We have the history of martyrs. Pope Peter, Pope St. Paul, all the saints were martyred. We have a lot of martyrs around. It's not about respect me or don't say something wrong about me. We have to preach, like St. Paul will say, in season and out of season. Political people come 4 years, they're already struggling to come back to power. After 4 years, they are gone and it's finished. The Catholic Church has been there for 2,000 years and continues till the end of time. So what have you to do with arguing with people who are semi-illiterate sometimes? So I do feel that we must now focus on the bigger picture of continuing to preach the good news. I know, of course, that journalists are always happy when there is sensation. Then they like to blow up the news, let it be shared, let people talk around it. Then they sell their newspapers, and then that one is over. Another news comes, that one is forgotten. This is a matter of life for many young people. They come out of universities. 40% do not find a job. 40% are struggling to leave their country. And you see that they are being deported from South Africa, from somewhere. Some are dying in Lampedusa, in the Mediterranean Sea. Some are being deported back from the US. How can Nigerians be abandoning their country? And the president and the leadership, political leadership, is saying, let us manage, things are hard everywhere. That is not why you are there. You are not just a political leader. You have also a moral responsibility, a real moral responsibility to address the issues of countries. And if you say it's overwhelming, then resign.
Yeah.
Why should you say there are too many problems, I can't solve all? If there's too much problem, resign, because we need people to give answers. That's why you said vote for me, so that if you vote for me, I'll give these answers.
Well, Monsignor, when you're talking about resignation here, I think it's far-fetched from our president, because there's a statement he made already, all is fair in politics. But you spoke about Cardinal Koji, that is the president of the Catholic Bishop Conference from 1994 to 2000, I guess, and all the fights during the military. Why I bring someone to akin it to President Tinubu, who fought also the same fight yesteryears with Nadeko, right? And we see him as a true Democrat, right? But he made a statement. I don't know if it's loosely on how you received that statement, all is fair in politics, because for me, right, it cut across a Machiavellian type of practical political view that you don't care if the country burns, you win and rule over ashes, right? You don't care who us is God. So coming from someone we tag a Democrat making such statement, how did you receive all is fair in politics? A statement made by President
It is a fundamental, it's a serious matter. It's a very, very serious matter, because it shows the subconscious attitude towards the political, let me say, dispensation. Might is right. That was what Machiavelli said. Might cannot be right. Right is different from might or weakness. Right is that which is just. Justice is that which is fair. But to come in a philosophical, logical manner to say all is fair in politics is an underrating of the highest principles of justice. And I will take exception, even if it was by a slip of tongue, if it was seriously meant, it is serious enough that we should go back to the drawing table. And there needs to be a retraction. In fact, we are going to organize conferences around that topic. All is not fair in politics. Human beings have something like, we call it a moral compass that guides them. You cannot say winner takes all. No, we live in a democratic dispensation where it is not one party, but pluriparty. But if one party strives to destroy other parties, that's not about politics. That's about not just being unfair. It's about I alone can stand. And I come from Igbo land, and that proverb about a forest, a tree does not make a forest, that applies. One party cannot make democracy. You need multi-party, because the opinions are different. People have different views, perspectives, attitudes, and we need it for the flourishing of our great nation. We have over 300 languages, we have various tribes, we have various religious persuasions. All of them are part of that which heaven has given to people in Nigeria to flourish for a better nation. We are not monolithic. We are plural society, and democracy is about plurality. So when someone says all is fair in politics, and it comes from the presidency, it demands of a deeper reflection, and is a very, very questionable sign of where are we going to. So it means that I will just take the elections, whether I win or not, I will continue. What's the difference between democracy and the militocracy? What's the difference? In military, there is an order, but even then, military will not even say that. Military will discipline, because they have a difference between right and wrong. All cannot be right, all cannot be fair in politics. It is an absurdity.
So now, speaking about the particular remarks by Daniel Bwala, the special advisor on policy communication to Mr. President, he basically described the remarks, or rather the Archbishop, former Archbishop, as being more political than spiritual, saying that that this was a political remark. And there have also been conversations that this has stirred around the Catholics and how the Catholic leaders are more vocal about what is wrong in Nigeria than other denominations like the Pentecostal. So we have this religious war that has been evoked by this remark, saying that the Catholic bishop spoke for Catholics and not for Christians. Daniel Bwala said that, alongside saying that this is political, right? And, trying to imply that this is because of a stance that perhaps the Catholic Church has taken against
people
APC.
Have their pedigrees. Mr. Bwala is someone you cannot take serious. Unfortunately, that's the correct thing.
Thank you for watching that video. So guys, before you leave, look at the down here. do well to subscribe and also put on notification bell so that whenever